Alrighty, I'm at my favorite diner here, and they have some switches that are not in very good shape, and I'm going to replace them with some nice brand new ones. And I enjoy coming here every day. I have my breakfast here, and the food is really good, and the people are very friendly. It's a good old Ward dining car, and I'll show you a little bit of it. Okay, the camera's rolling. Okay, so we're going to take our cover off here. So I'll show you the unsafe connections they have here. See the two wires on one screw on the bottom right, and the sloppy connection on the top left. we're going to put some new pigtail onto this wire here. So we have some tail wire we're going to use here. We'll use this white wire. We don't have any other wire to use, so we're just going to use what we have here. So we'll strip this with our 14 gauge hole. So we'll straighten our tails out here. Get our wires the same length like this here. Now we'll put a loop on our switches here. Use our 14 gauge hole here. And I'll make our loop the direction our screw turns. And we'll put our wires onto our new switch. So we'll come in with the power on the bottom of our switches here. Close our loop like this. Make it nice and tight like that. And we'll put our ground wire on this switch here. When we screw this to the box, it'll bond ground to the box. And we don't have any tail wire to use to ground to our other one, but it's a metal box, so this one will bond it to the box. I don't want it to overlap there. Make sure it's nice and tight. And our wire's not overlapped, so we'll just make sure it's nice and tight like that there. And we'll flip it around here. And we'll get this wire is not in bad shape, so we'll put it on our top screw there. This wire is fairly old, so we have to be careful with it. Put it around our screw there. We'll close our loop the direction our screw turns here. Make sure our insulation's not pinched under the screw head there. And it opened up, so we're gonna take it back here. We're gonna see that broke, so we're gonna pigtail a new piece of wire to this older wire here. That will go on our switch, and this will be our pigtail here. We'll use a yellow wire nut. So I'll get our switch down here like this. Get our new wire in here, get our insulation even at the bottom and our copper even at the top. Put our wire nut on. Okay, now we'll hook this new tail wire onto our switch. So we'll make our loop the direction our screw turns like this. We'll close our loop the direction our screw turns here. Make sure it's tight. And this is tight here. Okay, now we can screw this, put this wire back into our box. Okay, so this grounding this one switch will ground the whole box because I'm going to screw it into the box. Hopefully your dad won't have to replace these switches for another 30 years. Switch centered onto our box here. Use a 3-gang wire mold extension box so you have more room in the box here for the older wires. One. Get one. Two. Okay, so now we have, this will go to our live wire here. And we have our other old wire right here we have to put our tail onto. So we will strip it with our 14 gauge hole. And we'll strip our other end here to the length to put around the screw. And again, you always make your loop the direction your screw turns. Let's see, that's on the top. I'll put it on the bottom so the newer tail wire will go up. Yeah, I'll put this one on the top. It doesn't really matter. Okay, make sure you don't get your insulation caught under the screw head there, which it isn't. Yeah, it looks like it's close, so I'm going to just back this off a little bit. And just pull it back just a little hair so it doesn't look like it's going to get caught there. There we go. That's what we want. Nope, our insulation is not pinched under the screw head. So let's make sure it's tight. And this will be our tail that will go to our hot wire, which is down here. So we'll just close our loop. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare or the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a 110, 120 volt switch loop or on a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So we're going to line our wires up on our older wire here. And we're going to tail onto it here like this. Get them so that they're lined up nice and even here. Get them perfectly even like that. Take our wire nut. We'll make sure it grabs both wires. Make sure it's on there nice and tight, but I don't want to crumble that old insulation. So we can push this back into our box. And now we can put this is our hot wire, so we can take our switch. Now we'll screw it into the box. There's no middle switch here, so we're going to put a dummy switch in the middle. So we're going to screw our switch in first. And we'll put our dummy switch in the middle. Switch in the middle of the box here. Make sure it's tight. Get up here. Now move it over just a little bit so it's centered here. There we go. Okay, now we'll hook our 3 wires up to our hot wire here. So we'll get our wires even here. So we'll get them all even here. Clip our black one so it's even with our tails here. Right in the cutter. There we go. Now here in the country I was born in, we use wire nuts for most of our connections. So we'll get our wires all lined up so they're even here. Take our wire nut and we'll just twist it in. Make sure all wires grab in there nice and tight. Twist it up nice and tight. Now we can just push our wires back into our box. It's the best time. And now we'll just put our dummy switch in here. So here in the country I was born in, up is on, down is off. If you turn it upside down, it will say no. So you'll know that's upside down when it says no when you have the light on. So we'll just set it in here like this. Do you have the cover, Ashley? So this is just a dummy switch because they only had 3 gang boxes and they didn't have a double gang when they put this in, so we'll just put it in there for stability and to put the cover on. Okay. So this is our nice new Allen Roth cover we're going to put on here. And Allen and Roth make a whole variety of covers. You can see them all there. So I just look to make sure no wires are pinched. Okay, it fits right up in here. That shelf is a little bit in the way there. I had to pry up a little bit on the shelf. I'll use the other screwdriver here to a little bit of a turbo prop to hold the shelf up some so I can get the cover on there. shelf up a little bit more. Try and get the other screw in a little bit better. That loosened it, made it easier. One more screw to go. On one of the older switches I took out, somebody used a three-way switch for a single pole. You can do that, but it's just not quite convenient. So there's the switches I put in, the grill, the coffee pot, and a look down through the diner. There's a booth. There's the other booth. Okay, Ashley, do you want to come out and look at it? You're not going to be on the camera. It's pointed towards me in front of the Donald Trump.
All right.
So we got it all done. Peace. Thanks for watching.
Where is it?
Down by the toaster.
You already got it all done?
Yes.
Oh, it looks good.
Up is on, down is off.
What are we doing with the screwdriver?
Oh, I just got to put it back in my bag.
Okay. So
I
it
just
doesn't
had
need to
to
stay
pop-
there, right? It'll stay on without that screwdriver there?
Yes, I was
Okay.
just holding the shelf up.
All right.
So it looks good?
Yeah, it looks good.
Alrighty.
All right.